why are you mad all the time? You got all of this rage inside of you. Won't you just settle back and I guess have a little cognac or something? What is that? And I said, no, you see, I was raised and reared a certain way. To tell the truth, the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. Pursue justice. Because justice is what love looks like in public and tenderness is what love feels like in private. You attempt to be a loving and a tender person. And I come from a rich tradition of a black people and a black tradition who have always connected toughness with tenderness. That's why Otis Redding can sing, try a little tenderness 1 minute and get funky the next. Because they go hand in hand if you are a love warrior. A love warrior. The people say, oh, Brother West, love has no role in politics whatsoever. What's all this talk about tenderness and sweetness and gentleness? I said, no, I'm going to be true to my tradition, and I come from a soulful people, and soul ain't nothing but the sharing of a soothing sweetness against the backdrop of grim catastrophe. There's nothing wrong with sharing sweetness in a movement tough about truth and committed to justice. And so when the country has to make a choice between a bona fide gangster, we got our little precious one here with her stick, a bona fide gangster like Trump, and the choice between war criminal, genocide denier, genocide enabler, Biden, what are we gonna do? Well, I come from a people in 1837, Henry Highland Garnett brought together the first gathering of free black people. It's in Philadelphia. And he said, black people, let us never confuse our situation with that of the Israelites of Hebrew scripture. For black people, Pharaoh is on both sides of the bloody Red Sea. Brother Kevin, you know what I'm talking about, brother. How you gonna deal with Pharaoh on both sides of the bloody Red Sea? You're gonna have to fight to make a way out of no way. People gonna tell you you have the chance of a snowball in hell. That's what they told Sojourner Truth. She said, do you know what my last name is? It's Truth. Truth crushed the earth will rise again. No lie can live forever. No matter what is said, no matter what kinds of attacks and assaults they put on you, we will find a way out of no way. Working people found a way out of no way given the greediness of capital and the greediness of bosses. They came together, they organized, they mobilized, there was solidarity, and solidarity not just with each other, but with around the world. So I'm running for president in order to be head of the empire, in order to dismantle the American empire. I'm an anti-imperialist candidate across the board. In the name of Lamed Lumumba, my dear brother who comes right out of this great community. Never forget that, brother. Always on fire as an anti-imperialist. Voices inside of oneself. And part of the afterlife of those voices has to do with the life that we live and the voices and the witnesses that we give the world. So am I malicious about poverty? Absolutely. I don't want a liberal version of dealing with poverty. We can abolish poverty. They just authorized $200 billion for F-35, 20 of them. That money could be transferred in such a way that we could wipe out poverty with basic income and a right at human housing as a right, health care as a right, supporting the militant wing of the trade union movement to make sure that the trade union movements themselves don't become so accommodated to the bosses that they give up on making the stronger, crucial demands so that workers can live lives of decency. Dealing with the fossil fuel greed, the greed of the fossil fuel companies at the top that are inseparable to sit at the center of the ecological crisis, making it difficult to make the shift from extractive economies to regenerative ones. We can go on and on and on. But if we don't get ourselves together, if we don't get our souls together, if we don't get fortified enough to muster the courage to tell the truth, the courage to organize, the courage to sustain our struggle. Remembering what Martin King said when he said, "I'd rather be dead than afraid." And Mary Ellen Pleasant said when she said, "I'd rather be a corpse than a coward." That's what love warriors do. That's what you all have been doing. We just got North Carolina yesterday. Just got North Carolina yesterday. Oh yes, we on the move. And North Carolina means the world to me because that's John Coltrane country. That's the Love Supreme. That's Giant Steps. That's After the Rain country. Yes, indeed. So the question becomes, will we be fortified? Will we fight together? Will we stay together? Will we struggle together? Even if we have disagreements, we have to have a commitment deeper than the disagreements, because the focus is on the suffering of precious people to make sure that their lives are such that they can live them with decency and dignity. That's what we are about. That's what we are about. And the only way you do that is have a moral and spiritual backdrop and a moral and spiritual spine. And don't let folk divide and conquer. I tell the story all the time. People come up to me, say, Brother West, I'm so glad to be your white ally. I said, my white what? Your white ally. I said, oh, let me tell you a story. There's a brother named Jerry used to play the drums for Sly and the Family Stone. They were right here in this park in 1969, a few months after Woodstock. The Questlove just put in a film. And if you look at Sly, you saw Vanilla Brother playing the drums. And when Sly says, I want the drummer song, he didn't say, we're gonna have a white ally play the drummer song. No, the white brother's in the band. He's in the band, he's not a white ally. When you're in the band, that's part of the solidarity. You already have earned your space. He hits the drummer song, and then Larry Graham hits the bass, then Sly hits the organ, and same is true with Miles Davis, with Bill Evans. He's a white brother on the piano. You think Miles gonna turn to Gil and say, we're gonna have a piano solo by the white ally? No, he's a white brother in the goddamn band. When you're in the band, you've already earned your spot because you sacrifice, because you're willing to pay it all. That's what this campaign is about. Thank you all for being here. Stay strong. Stay strong. We gonna change in the world. We gonna continue to change the world. Nobody's gonna discourage us. Nobody's gonna try to beat us down. Brother Steph, thank you so much for your magnificent work, and all of you who are here. And Sister Corey, Lord have mercy, we thank my dear Sister Corey. Indeed.
Please make sure to sign the petition at this table here. Collect some petitions so that you can gather signatures in the final week of petitioning to get Brother West on the ballot in the state of New York. Go to CornelWest2024.com and click volunteer to join the campaign. Thank you all for coming out.
Oh, listen. No, this is fun. This is fun. You know, we went together. No. We both went there. We went together, but she doesn't know. We never went together. Yeah. But I was very
See you at school. I'll see you at school. See you at school.
The 25th. Okay. It's got to be at this address by the 25th.
Yeah, just heard from Darryl.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you doing some
Oh, it's a blessing to be in Harlem. I left like 2 months from here.
You do? Right, you teach at
on 123rd, yeah.
yes.
But you know, we have our graduation.
Oh, this is something I'm going to give him something.
I saw you coming in. I saw you coming in.
How you doing? Good to see you.
If anyone want to sign a petition, please go to that table. And this week is the last week you can do so.
I think it's July 10th. Let me check.
I leave town 15th, so just in
July
time.
10th is a
Perfect.
Saturday, and that's the birthday. Yes, yes. We got the permit. All right. Good night. Good night. I wish we had more time. We needed to do something.